On the eastern base of the Giza Plateau, below the pyramid complex, is another stunning symbol of ancient Egypt, the Great Sphinx. There are many theories as to the origin of this magnificent monument, but the truth remains hidden behind the stony stare of this desert's most impressive lion. This strange sculpture, this mysterious mixture of man and beast, crouches in front of the pyramid complex of Khafra, quietly keeping the secret of its true significance.
In Giza, the Sphinx is anonymous. There are no texts that really tell us, here's why we made the Sphinx, here's what we think about it. But we know with high probability that it was made during the time of Khafre, the builder of the second Giza pyramid. It sits just in back of his valley temple, and so it kind of guards the entrance to the whole pyramid complex, in fact, to the whole Giza necropolis as a whole.
In ancient Egypt, sphinxes were traditionally guardians. They protected sacred places, like the entrances to temples and to the underworld. According to ancient Egyptian inscriptions, the Sphinx served as the giver of life, the director of truth, and the eternal leader of the upper and lower world. Throughout the ages, this amazing creature has been interpreted as the symbol of many things. For the Greeks, it was thought to be a representation of occult wisdom. For the medieval Arabs, it was Abu Hal, or Father of Terror. But in the beginning, experts say it was nothing more than an outcrop of unwanted rock.
It's the remains of an ancient quarry. And rather than removing it completely, because it seems to have been an area of bad stone which the Egyptians couldn't figure out what to do with, and so rather than just blast it away, someone with a little bit of vision, that is a true sculptor or an artist, said, hey, I can do something with that.
The result of that vision is this colossus that seems to effortlessly transform animal into man.
The Sphinx has all the power of the lion, but the head is not only the head of a man, it's the head of the ultimate man, the man-god, the pharaoh, wearing the Nemes scarf in the folds that only the king was allowed to wear in his scarf. And this outline of the Sphinx symbolized the order imposed by divine rule over the natural world.
The Great Sphinx, like the pyramids it protects, is massive. Its body measures 240 feet, more than 3/4 the length of a football field. Its head rises to 66 feet in height, or what would be the equivalent of a 6-story building.
This combining on a gigantic scale of the lion with the king must have conveyed that the head of this household was not only powerful in the form of a king, but was powerful like the gods, could combine with the very forces of nature, emerge right out of the living rock as the Sphinx to receive what is due him as the head of this household that continues forever in the afterlife.
The Sphinx has an extremely strong presence, even though its form has been marred. Throughout the ages, man has been blamed for its scarred face. Early in the 15th century AD, an Arab historian reported that a man angry with the people still engrossed with ancient Egyptian mysticism smashed off the nose. Napoleon was also said to have peppered the face with bullets. But according to many Egyptologists, this is simply part of the folklore surrounding this mysterious creature. They claim most of its destruction was caused by the ancient Egyptians' #1 enemy, time.
we stand before the silent mystery of the Sphinx. Its time-scarred, weather-beaten face looks out upon the plain and fronts the rising sun, as it has done these many thousands of years, and still we question its mute lips to its age and origin. James Henry Breasted, 1905.
Its disfigured face has left some unanswered questions concerning its likeness, but many Egyptologists feel it was carved in the image of the king who rested in the very pyramid it silently secures.
The Great Sphinx at Giza, of course, is thought to represent Khephren. And if you look carefully at the features of the Sphinx, insofar as they're preserved, you'll see many similarities between Khephren, but Old Kingdom kings in particular, in the way the features are done.
The square jaw, the arched eyebrows, and the high cheekbones prompt experts to believe that this sculpture was created during the 4th dynasty, the same period the pyramids of Giza were built. To further prove the point, the past met the present through technology in 1989, when Egyptologists combined their knowledge with the skills of architects to recreate the Great Sphinx in its original form. They took the features of the Great Sphinx, and then, using a comparison of Khafra, they added a nose, a beard, and more of a headdress, along with a statue that was put there during a later period. The computer's ability was used to electronically perform a function much like a paintbrush. The result? A complete image of what this stone statue may have looked like over 4,000 years ago. The identity of the Sphinx is just one of the many mysteries that may hold the answer to its true age. Another is the material from which it was made. The bottom layer, the foundation, is hard limestone, while the middle layer runs from hard to soft. The human head is made of a strong building stone which has weathered the ages better than its feline body. Does this suggest that the head was carved into the existing statue much later? Some believe that the Sphinx dates back to 9,000 BC, thousands of years older than any Egyptian dynasty. However, archaeological evidence suggests otherwise.
It's surrounded by all these hundreds, maybe thousands of tombs, the pyramids, the causeways, the boats, the statues. All of the material looks like the material of the time of Khufu, Khafre, and Menkaure. Its location, its context, its position within the general sequence of Egyptian architecture and art that suggests it was made at this time during the 4th dynasty, and its context within Khepren's pyramid complex suggests it was made by him. It's that kind of evidence that we build up probabilities.
In 1987, yet another mystery was revealed on the Giza Plateau. An ancient cemetery with thousands of well-kept tombs was discovered. But who were the mummified inhabitants of the area now known as the Workmen's Village? Here, a cluster of tombs was placed side by side in the shadows cast by the pyramids. The area, only 1 mile from the 7 Wonders' sole survivors, has prompted experts to develop some interesting ideas.